So as we've seen already, London Zoo is home to a whole variety of different species, many of which are part of global international breeding programs. And ZSL collaborate with zoos all over the world, ensuring that we have vital backup populations of animals ex situ. But we also work hands-on in the wild, ensuring that we protect and conserve future habitats for future generations for different varieties of species. And Land of the Lions is home to ZSL's 4 Asiatic lions. And we have this gorgeous boy, Banu, and 3 sisters, and we have Heidi, Indy, and Ruby's here looking very, very relaxed. Now, in the wild, Asiatic lions will live in the Gujarat region of India, living in the Gir National Park, where they live in harmony with the locals. But this being said, they're still classified as endangered for one reason, and that's the fact that if there's a major disease outbreak or one big forest fire, they could actually be all wiped out, which is very, very sad, so which is why it's important that we have programs just like this one. And to tell me a little bit more is Keeper Tara. So thank you very much for joining me. Tell us a little bit more about these beautiful cats.
No, well, first of all, you look right, they are beautiful. Yeah, so here we have our 4 Asiatic lions. We've got Ruby, Heidi and Indy and Banu, as you've mentioned. And these are, as previously discussed, endangered species. So with only being 500 left out in the Gir forest, it's really important that they are here so they can help not only with research purposes but also it provides a lot of education for our public here. So they're lovely animals to work with, and obviously to distinguish them from the Asiatics, they've got a few special features. The eyes are slightly different shape, they're actually the smaller ones compared to their cousins, and they've got a nice sort of flabby lot of skin down the body which helps to extract the heat in the sort of Indian temperatures as well. So.
Awesome. So we've got one big boy, Banu, here who's having a nice old snooze. So this rock's heated, isn't it? Which is why on this cold, damp day, they're sort of all tucked up and having a good old cat nap more than anything, aren't they?
Yes, so we've got a lovely heated area for them, so we do keep it nice and warm, especially throughout the winter months. It reaches temperatures of nearly 30 degrees, so you know we can't blame them for being on there on a winter's day.
Yeah, it's like an absolute sauna in there. So as much as he may look like the king, I'm pretty sure it's probably the other way around, and that these 3 sisters probably run rings around him a little bit, don't they?
Definitely. With our girls, it is the girls that will go out and do all the hunting and everything. His job out in the wild is to protect the girls and obviously protect the territory. With the Asiatics, it's slightly different. The male kind of takes a more of a step back approach compared to the African species, where you'll see him a bit more. But yes, the girls are very much in charge, and he does try and make his mark now and again with our girls, but they do put him in his place as well.
And is that when he's actually awake? Because I know lions like this one, he'll be asleep for a good 20 hours of the day, wouldn't he?
Yes, easily 20 hours a day, and same for our girls. So yeah, when he's awake, you definitely know he's awake. He'll be calling about, especially if the girls sneak off, which they do like to do now and again. They tend to wake up, realise he's still asleep, and they'll start wandering in the enclosure and lead him to it. And then when he wakes up, he does his lovely roar and call to them all, as if to say, where have you gone? Please come back. Otherwise, you know, because obviously his job is to keep an eye on them, so he does like to know where they are all the times.
Absolutely. So let's go look at 2 of the other girls. So we had Banu and, sorry, which female was this again?
This is Ruby.
This is Ruby.
Our eldest one.
And let's go and see Heidi and Indy, who are rather adorably spooning out this other window. Look at that.
Yeah, so we've got Indy just at the back here and Heidi at the front. They're actually twin sisters, so they came from one litter, whereas Ruby's just the litter before, so that's why she's slightly older. But yes, they do love each other's company very well, and they tend to spend a lot of time together, these 2, but obviously they are a close-knit family basically, so you will find all 4 together quite a lot.
Oh, and a little bit of a leg stretch there, fantastic. So to you, what's the best part of your day when working with the lions?
To be honest, the best part of the day is I never actually know what's going to happen. That is one of the great things about working with basically big cats and all exotic animals really, is that as much as they are here in captivity for education purposes, they're still wild animals, so you never know what's going to predict. These guys are great fun, and they're really playful at times. You do see a lot of the natural instincts come out, sort of dusk and dawn where they would be hunting.
Absolutely.
We actually do see them being more playful then, because the temperatures are slightly cooler, they've got a lot more activity going on.
Yeah.
Because obviously these guys, they don't need to hunt. Obviously we provide them their meals and do some training sessions with them. They've got that energy to use up, and obviously they can raid the 2 enclosures that we've got here, and you see them, they get a lot of enrichment, they play football together, they do a lot of cool schooling, scent enrichment goes out.
Nice.
We'll even hide the food around the enclosures as well, put it in sacks and things like that. So
Yeah.
obviously, where they would be using up their muscles and the energy to hunt, we kind of basically replicate that by putting it in sacks, putting it up in the trees, and making them use that energy. And this is the outcome, basically.
Keeping them stimulated so that on days like this, they can have a snooze and have a spoon and have a good old rest. And before we wrap up, obviously the zoo's now open. So to you, have you noticed a difference in the sort of, the lions a bit more aware that people are back? And why is it also so important that visitors are coming back and enjoying these animals?
They're definitely thankful the public are back again. I think they were missing them slightly. So for these guys, as you can see, they're quite chilled and relaxed, and they're happy that the public are back. Obviously for us as ZSL, it's very important the public are here, not only because obviously it brings in the money to look after these guys in captivity, but also all the money that the public do bring in does go towards our conservation projects.
Yep.
And obviously the Asiatic Lions is a big project of ours, so it's not about just these guys here, it's about their cousins out in India as well. So the more public we get in, the more we can get back onto our conservation routes and put it back out there as well.
Wonderful. And thank you very much for your time today, Tara, and thank you again to Bhanu, Heidi, Indy and Ruby, and I'm sure that they'll probably be there for the rest of the afternoon, won't they?
I'm sure they will, yes.
Right, let's leave them to it. Cheers.